Hey there, we're on the 24th day of July. We thank God for keeping us this far. Today, I want to talk about a moment that Jesus shared with his disciples, and that was right after he had had a moment with a Samaritan woman by the well. So his disciples encouraged him to eat something, and he responded saying that he had some other food that they don't know of. And they wondered if anyone had brought Jesus food. And Jesus said his food was to do the will of his Father who sent him and to finish his work. Let's pause right here and talk about the importance of food. Food nourishes the body. Food serves the body and does it some good. It gives the body life. It gives the body energy. It gives the body strength, and it promotes growth, right? A body which is not well fed is weak and is prone to illness. And so if Jesus sees the will of the Father as food that he must accomplish, then it means that the will of the Father is important to the spirit man as the food is important to the physical body. Paul, in talking about the struggle between the flesh and the spirit, said that his inner man delights in the law of God. With the mind, he serves the law of God, but his flesh serves the law of sin. So we see the inner man wants to obey and please God as he knows he should. That's that hunger for the food from God the Father, right? But the flesh ruins his effort in wanting to obey the laws of God, causing him to go astray. And so he finds himself in a quagmire of helplessness, and he comes to the conclusion that only Jesus Christ can rescue him from this destitution, from this entanglement, if you will. He realized that he can do nothing of his own strength, but by the grace of God through faith in Jesus. Jesus' body was broken for you and I. His flesh was the ingredient necessary to prepare the food that would give you and I life. And that's why he is the bread of life. We need this food. Jesus is the food that our spirit man needs to be able to overcome the desires of the flesh, because the spirit influences the physical. The spirit informs the physical. The bread of life that we need for our spirit man to stay woke. Jesus died as a punishment for our sin, was buried, rose again in victory. A victory which empowers us through faith to overcome. He promised that if anyone eats this bread, he shall live forever. He also said that if anyone will come after him, he has to deny himself, he has to pick up his cross and follow him. For whosoever shall save his life shall lose it. But whosoever shall lose his life for his sake, Jesus' sake, shall find it. But then we see that denying the self and picking up one's cross to follow Jesus is only possible when we yearn for the food, which is Jesus, right? Because it is in following him, pursuing him, going after him, learning from him, taking his yoke, which is easy, and his burden, which is light. It's only in doing this that we are able to deny ourselves. We are able to pick up our cross, because it is with his power, by the grace of God. It is not by ourselves, right? That is why Paul said that Jesus is the only one that can rescue us from this conflict that we feel within us, right? Denying oneself is dumping our sinful desires for the desires of God, right? Letting our mind serve the law of God. Hallelujah. So when we eat this food, this bread of life, and it begins to nourish our body, right? Causes us to grow, strengthens us, revitalizes us. We see that we are able to deny ourselves. We're able to pick up our cross and follow him. We are able to lose our lives for his sake. And because we are able to do that, we see that our lives become a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable to God, which is our reasonable service. So in conclusion, the desire to please and live for God should be our greatest food yearning. Of course, we eat food every day to take care of our physical bodies. So too do we need to eat this bread of life every day, because it has the power to transform us and cause us to grow. And so I pray that the Spirit of God will enlighten us, strengthen us, and fill us with hunger to yearn for this bread of life. Have a happy July.